It's funny. That one word, doctor, it's got so much weight, right? It can completely change the vibe in a room. But it's also kind of a battleground. We're talking respect, history, professional identity, all wrapped up in one title. So today, let's get into it. Let's figure out why this one little word causes so much drama.
And to kick things off, check out this comment from a Reddit forum. Wow, you can just feel the frustration boiling over, can't you? This person is getting right to the heart of it. This isn't just some petty argument about words. It's about feeling like years, literally years, of hard work and dedication are being dismissed. It's about getting the respect you've earned.
And yeah, like that Reddit user said, this is so much more than just a name. We're looking at a deep, psychological fight over professional identity, who's on top of the pecking order, and ultimately, who gets to be seen as the expert. And believe me, this isn't just some academic debate. This is happening right now, every day, in hospitals, on college campuses, and even in corporate boardrooms.
Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. To understand the fight, you have to go back to the beginning. The word doctor actually comes from the Latin word docere, which means to teach. Yep. It was originally a title for Ph.D.s, the absolute highest academic achievement. But somewhere along the line, that changed. Now, when you hear doctor, you almost automatically think of a medical doctor, an M.D. And that shift, that's the root of all this tension.
So this whole MD versus PhD thing, it naturally leads to a bigger question, right? Are all doctorates even the same? I mean, we see all these different letters after people's names. So what's the deal? Are they all on the same level?
Okay, let's break this down. To really get what's going on, we have to look at the different kinds of doctorates out there. And it turns out they're not all built the same way or for the same reason. This adds a whole new layer to the conversation.
So back in the day, the lines were pretty clear. You had the PhD, the Doctor of Philosophy. That was all about theory, research, creating brand new knowledge from scratch. Think of the scientist in a lab making a breakthrough. Then you had degrees like the ED.D, a Doctor of Education. That was a practitioner's degree, all about taking that knowledge and applying it to solve real-world problems. So it was basically creator versus user, theory versus practice.
But here's the thing. Today, those lines are getting really blurry. The degrees themselves are starting to look more alike. The problem is the cultural perception hasn't caught up. Those old silos are still standing strong. And that idea that one degree is for the thinker and the other is for the doer is incredibly powerful. It shapes careers, it shapes salaries, and it shapes who gets respect in a room.
And that brings us to one of the biggest myths about PhDs, which is that they all just become professors, right? That they live in this ivory tower, totally disconnected from the real world. But is that actually true? Let's see.
Spoiler alert, it's not. The reality of the modern economy is completely different. Those high-level skills you get from a PhD program, they're in super high demand, everywhere. We're talking tech startups, Fortune 500 companies, government agencies, you name it. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Look at the numbers. This chart shows where PhDs are working about 7 to 9 years after they graduate. A whopping 42% are in the private sector. The whole idea of the PhD is just a lifelong academic? Yeah, the data just doesn't back that up at all.
But this is where things get tricky. This career diversity, it creates a brand new challenge. It's this weird paradox. A PhD leaves the academic world, where everyone gets what their title means, and they step into a corporate world that often just doesn't get it. They don't know what to do with them.
And so you get this clash between skills and stereotypes.
So on one side of the coin, you have the employers who do hire PhDs, and they absolutely value what these folks bring to the table. We're talking next-level problem solving, innovation, insane analytical skills. I mean, these are the people who can literally develop new knowledge and processes that can transform a business. But then you flip the coin. And on the other side, these same brilliant graduates are hitting a brick wall of stereotypes. You know the ones. Oh, your knowledge is too narrow, you don't have real-world experience, you're overqualified, or even that they're just socially awkward. And look, this isn't just about someone's feelings getting hurt. This is a massive waste of talent. We have this incredible pool of problem solvers who are being sidelined because of old, tired ideas.
So that's the problem. What's the solution? How do we bridge this huge gap between what people think PhDs are and what they can actually do? Well, there's a really cool new idea about collaboration that tries to do just that.
Yeah, researchers are actually proposing a new model for how we can work together, a way to smash through those professional walls. You know, the walls between the medical doctor in the clinic and the research doctor in the lab, or between the academic and the business executive. They call it the third space. And no, it's not a physical place you can go visit. It's a concept. It's a way of working. It's this idea of a collaborative zone where people from totally different backgrounds, academics, professionals, you name it, can come together and just create. The focus is on the problem you're solving together, not the title on your business card.
And there's actually a pathway to get there. It's a journey. You start out as what they call a bounded professional. You're stuck in your lane, you do your job, that's it. Then you become a cross-boundary professional. You start reaching out, peeking into that third space, collaborating on shared projects. In the final step, you become unbounded. You're totally fluid. You move effortlessly between different worlds, blending different kinds of knowledge. That's where the magic, the real innovation happens.
And this quote really nails it. The point isn't to create a new job title called a third space professional. That would miss the whole point. The goal is to build a culture where this kind of collaboration just happens, where we can finally get past this us versus them mentality and just focus on doing great work together, regardless of the letters after our names.
So, that brings us full circle, doesn't it? Back to the whole debate over who gets to be called doctor. And maybe, just maybe, we've been asking the wrong question this whole time. Maybe the real challenge, the real opportunity, isn't arguing over who owns a title. Maybe it's about tearing down the very walls that these titles build up. What could we really achieve if we valued collaboration more than credentials? What could we build if we worried less about the name on the door and more about what we can create together on the other side of it?